covering?
What are we not covering? Alito's flag thing. I think I covered that by myself last week.
Okay.
It's escalating since then. He's now been caught with a Christian nationalist flag at his vacation home. So, like, not surprising to anyone that's been following Supreme Court stuff for years now, but it's just one of those, like, it's impossible to like. This is like the people that will say, "Oh no, Trump's not a racist because he never like said I hate N-words."
Meanwhile, everything.
But like everything he's done has indicated that he is in fact racist. So it's like even the people that would have that with like, "Oh no, our judge isn't a Christian nationalist." It's kind of hard to ignore it when he's flying a literal Christian nationalist flag. Like they're trying to say like, oh, this flag has a history going back to blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, okay, but who's using it today? It doesn't matter. Like, forget that. Let's pretend, yeah, sure, it does have a history that makes it mean something different in the past. Who's the group using the flag today? Christian nationalists. What was Sam Alito flying? The same flag as the Christian nationalists.
Yep.
It's a Christian nationalist flag at this point. Doesn't matter what it historically meant. And the same thing, like, and you could make that same argument with the Confederate flag. Oh yeah, no, maybe they, you know, like historically it did represent a bunch of rebels or like insurrectionists who were fighting to preserve the institution of slavery. But today it just represents states' rights. And like, if that's actually
states' rights to what though?
I know, but like in the modern age it would be abortion or whatever. But like if they were actually consistent with that, that might be semi-valid. But they're not. They still see the Confederacy as like itself a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, no, if you actually divorced it from its previous meaning, symbols can change meaning. But they haven't. Yep. So it didn't. So there's that. I'm also not going to go over the Trump trial thing. Jury's set to begin deliberation now. It's kind of funny the right wing is freaking out, and the latest freak out is nobody can even say what he's charged with. It's like, it's 34 felony counts, and they're all the same charge. It's called falsifying business records in the first degree. It's 34 charges of that.
So everybody can say what he's
everybody can
with.
say that. Yeah, and you can even go, like, when I Googled it so I could get the technical name of it, because I'm like, it's fraud, it's falsifying business records. Those are the things I know. Like, it amounts to fraud, and it's officially falsifying business records, where I'm like, okay, I want to get the actual legal jargon down. It's like, it's falsifying business records in the first degree is what it is. And when I Googled it to make sure I had it right, Yahoo has it, like there was a Yahoo article that just had a whole list of all 34 counts, and every single one is falsifying business records in the first degree. And then there's a little paragraph explaining why this one is a separate charge. So yeah, that's what the charges are. And people are saying like, oh, nobody can even say what the charges are. No, this is what the charges are. And if you want more details on each one of the 34 counts, go to the Yahoo article. It lists them out quite succinctly.
So is the other thing we're not covering Nick Fuentes being caught broadcasting porn?
I not covered that last week.
You not covered that last week?
I know. I was so mad that you weren't with me for that one.
I wish I was there because it was one of the videos. So it was one of the videos that I pulled stuff for that I wanted to cover myself, but then I was sick and I couldn't cover anything because what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through all of the times that he's been caught with this shit. Because this isn't the first time.
No, this is not the first time. This is the most egregious and obvious time, but there have been other times when it's like he just had a tab open that was very clearly gay porn.
Yeah, the tab one was he got somebody caught him watching. They had like a single frame and they reverse image searched that frame to figure out it was trans porn. And then before that, there was him going on a date with the Nazi cat boy, which everybody knows about at this point. So like this is. I wanted to go through and just be and title the episode something bombastic like the straightest straight man to ever not gaily choke on cock. Like
that would be amazing.
Something like that.
So Fennec says that man just needs to admit that he is a homosexual and he will feel so much better. Counterpoint, Fennec. I would like him to not feel good. So if he feels bad about this, I am happy that Nick Fuentes feels bad because he is a bad person who should feel bad.
Counterpoint. He actually feels better by denigrating people who are gay because I am convinced to this day that half of this is that every single one of these assholes has a fucking shame fetish.
Yeah,
and by piloting or by parroting so hard,
it
by
could be
doing
because
everything they
you know what,
can.
that actually kind of tracks because like I'm a professional streamer. And we've all seen how much difficulty I have with technical bullshit.
Mhm.
I have never once accidentally displayed information on my screen that I would not want, or that I would be uncomfortable with the general public finding out about. It's not hard
Yeah.
to do. You just don't have those things open, and you double check that your stream is ended before you open them.
And you don't try to save an image live on stream while everybody's watching so they can see your image filter.
Yeah, like it is so easy to avoid getting caught with that sort of shit. So the fact that he is getting caught, yeah, that very strongly supports the humiliation fetish thing.
He desperately needs this to be a humiliating experience because
Duct Tape
otherwise,
Jake says just don't have it open when streaming. Yeah, that's generally how I handle it. If there is a website that I know has sensitive information that I don't want the general public to see, I just don't even have that website open while I am streaming.
Yeah, like
look, no good can come of that.
I have had the experience of my partner catching me while I'm watching porn, and luckily for me, that experience went, "Oh, what are you watching?" That's about what it was. Like, but for people like Fuentes, if that happened, it would take away all the magic. I guarantee you, it would take away all the magic from whatever the fuck they're into.
Dark Excalibur says, I think if we saw Rhino's Pornhub search history, he would own it and be zero shame. So this is... I actually am a little bit ashamed about it because I don't actually search for anything specific. I just do it like homepage. This is what they're showing.
Do you just look at the homepage and go off with that?
Yeah, okay, so I have created an account and I log in so that it remembers the ones that I click on, so it's more likely to show me stuff that I will enjoy.
Oh my god.
And I try very much to avoid the step sibling porn
that
because
always eats its way onto the page.
I fucking hate that. Like, I get it. They're appealing to the people with the incest kink, but they put the step in there so it doesn't turn off the people that don't have the incest kink too much. But I'm still just sick of it. Why does everything have to be step this and step that?
Help me, Step Rhino, I'm stuck.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of memes, do you want to see what your replacement was last week?
Sure.
This was your replacement.
Oh, I was just cats.
Yeah, all your Suris are belong to Rhino.
So one of my mods actually stated that the sub versus dub conversation was won long ago, and it was won by Zero Wing.
I don't know what that means.
Zero Wing is the game that Cats is in, and it's a Japanese game. Which
I don't know what sub versus dub conversation is.
God fucking damn it! Okay,
I know what a sub is.
Okay,
Oh,
you're meaning a kinky
no,
sub.
Yes, okay, no, we're talking subtitles versus dubbing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking different things.
Yes, I understand. We were talking about
porn, we were just talking about the Pornhub.
It would make perfect sense, but that's not what we're talking about. The joke, because explaining the joke makes it way funnier, apparently. The joke was that because that is a Japanese game that was translated poorly, and that's how the all your base are belong to us meme came about in the first place. The game's called Zero Wing. It's the game that Cats is from. That the sub versus dub conversation was won in favor of dub because it gave us the meme Rhino.
I feel like that would be a point in favor of sub because without sub we wouldn't have the meme.
But the meme is a cultural icon.
Yes, so
cultural
it's a good
icons are good.
Yeah, so sub.
So it's a point in favor of dub.
How is that a point in favor of dub? It was sub.
Because it was a fucked up dub.
Was it?
Yes.
Then why is it in text in all the memes? Thank you for your 20-bit cheer, Morbid Palace.
So, God damn it. So when something is subbed, it is typically subbed well and professionally and officially. And the reason that the cat's meme even happened in the first place was because it was dubbed over with a robotic voice, and that's what created the meme.
I mean, okay, sure. Why not? Anyway, I actually, so we always get stuck on Has Been Hotel spin-off stuff. I have a new sound for my soundboard.
Mm-hmm.
What are we even talking about?
Have you seen the video where it's
I have seen that, yes. That's where I pulled that clip from, because they pulled the music out of it.
Is the only thing she knows. She has no idea what the fuck's going on. Loot, why are you like this?
I did not find that video to be as amusing as many other people did.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's a bit of a meme, I decided I'd just roll with it.
Fair enough.
All right.
John Limbacher says Rhino needs to watch the best dub of all time. So you're gonna say Ghost Stories, right, John? Like, I'm assuming if you're saying best dub of all time, then Ghost Stories is what you're talking about. And if you say anything else, then I'm gonna be very upset.
No, it's clearly My Neighbor Totoro.
No.
The dub from the 1990s, not the dub from the early 2000s.
So, do you know?
See, I know some anime stuff.
Do you know the story behind the Ghost Stories dub?
I don't even know what the Ghost Stories is.
Okay, so yeah, John says, "Yep." Okay, cool. So John knows exactly what I'm talking about. So, Ghost Stories was an anime that bombed in Japan. It did fucking horribly. So badly that when they sent it off to a Canadian dubbing company to get it to the United States and other Western properties, they basically said, "Look, this fucking failed. So you guys can do whatever you want with it, so long as you keep the plot the same." God fucking damn it, I hate myself. Morbid Palace, why?
Morbid Palace says 10 bits says, "I cannot deal. Ghost Stories is best."
Ghost Stories is amazing. So what they did is the dubbing company said, okay, so the anime sucks, the script sucks, we are going to basically do Shakespeare abridged, but in anime form. And it is, now granted, it is early 2000s.
Suris, I know you have more experience in this than I do. How does one get a job at an anime dubbing company?
You need to first be a voice actor,
and you need to have
you need to have about 5 to 20. They're very vague on which number it is, but you have to have an amount of credits to your name that are official credits.
Does Zod's video count?
No, because it didn't count for me either.
God damn it, Zod, put your thing on IMDb.
Because I voiced for Zod too, and it didn't fucking help me either. But you have those credits, those official credits in typically indie projects, and then you send you basically send your social to SAG-AFTRA, the guild.
I have seen people get their videos, their YouTube videos listed on IMDb.
Yeah.
I have videos that are long enough to count as a movie on IMDb. Could I just like list my own shit and be like, these are my credits?
So what happens is you put in your social number, whatever they need it to be, basically. For me, it's my social security number. You give them your social security number and they run a background check on you, and they see if that literally, they do not tell you to list the credits. They just run the check, and then it automatically spits back whether or not you have enough. It just gives you a binary answer, yes or no. So my guess is between 5 and 20 credits on indie projects would be my guess. But that is what you need to basically go to the SAG-AFTRA guild and get your name in with them. Once that happens, then you're able to actually apply to join the guild. Once you have joined the guild, then you can actually start working for a dubbing company. But you cannot work for a dubbing company, as far as I know, unless that company is either indie, like fully indie, or happens to have guild affiliation.
I feel like there's some indie Japanese dubbing stuff going on.
I mean,
there might be a lot of like groaning noises that I'd have to do for that.
It'd be So you'd think that, but I know that Dan Green, who worked for 4Kids and was the voice of Yami Yugi and regular Yugi, did have a credit in a porno where he said the lines in Yugi's voice, "Now cluck like a chicken." So chances are you actually still work for that.
So 10VP says, these streams have topics? To
Sometimes.
which I respond, I'm already done my first beer. We haven't even started the first news item. I have more news items than normal and more tweets than normal. And normally we've been going late recently, so this is going to be a really late one.
Tales of Atonement says, wait, Suris, are you SAG-AFTRA? No, I am not SAG-AFTRA affiliated yet, Tales. Otherwise, you would have had to sign a contract to get me on and gone through the guild. But I do not have
I
enough
would have to
credits my
sign a
name yet.
contract to get you on my channel if you become a member of SAG-AFTRA?
No, because live streaming stuff is considered individual work. That
Okay.
is something that I'd be able to do as long as, it doesn't violate any contracts there. The things that you do have to sign for are when somebody is SAG affiliated, you have to sign for getting voice work from them. Either they have to voluntarily give their voice under contract, or you have to pay them guild rate for it, as opposed to like whatever rate you would normally negotiate, because that's one of the things they do is they are the union that tries to keep actors in their jobs and paid fairly.
Yeah, I support what they do, because like everybody when they hear professional actors, they picture the A-listers who are making millions of dollars for not doing much work, comparatively speaking. But the majority of, like, I forget where I read this from, so take it with a grain of salt, but the majority of actors working out of Hollywood make less than $10,000 a year in acting, so they have to have other jobs that supplement their income.
Mm-hmm.
So like that'll be all the extras, that'll be the people with like 1 or 2 lines in a movie.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I just finished doing all the voice work for the video game that I'm still under NDA about, but I just finished all the voice work for that, so that is my first. As far as I know, that will be my first official credit that I'm able to use, because I don't think I can use my work on Tales of Atonement, and I don't think I can use my work for Prophet of Zod for the purposes of SAG. I think they needed to be in like more official capacities, which sucks because it's the whole like, to get work, you need to have a bunch of experience, but to get that experience, you legally have to be working with the guild, but to be with the guild, you have to have enough experience for the guild to bring you in. It's a nightmare, but I have been noting the steps that I've taken in regards to this to my stream, so they've been kind of a little bit in the loop with what's been going on. But again, like, some of the stuff that's been going on is me under NDA, not able to say shit.
Yeah, well, like, so this might be something we could talk about offline, but like I actually feel like I could do a decent job as a voice actor. Like, I would never I would never be an A-lister. I can't do voices. It's just me. But like, if you just need someone to be a person as like a minor character or whatever, like I feel like I could do a decent job with that. So like I wouldn't mind getting into that as like an alternate.
So voice acting isn't doing voices.
I am aware of that.
Yeah, there's plenty of like actually the guy we talked about, guy who voices Husk and also Arbiter and a bunch of other characters.
Yeah, he's got the same voice.
It's always his voice.
My partner and I were like watching a bunch of like 80s cartoon intros last night. Yeah, Fennec is saying Keith David. Yeah, so we were watching a bunch of like 80s cartoons intros last night for just nostalgia purposes or whatever. And I pulled up the intro to Gargoyles and was like, oh my god, that's fucking Keith David!
Again, always, every time.
It's
always
Keith David! And she's just like, who? I'm like, Keith David, the guy who plays Husker! Who's Husker? Because she's only seen Has-Been Hotel once because she didn't hyper-focus on it like I did.
Yeah, see, so I've technically only seen it once, but I've also gone through the OST for it so many times that it's basically pounded into my head at this point.
What are we even talking about?
I loot. Raymond Bell says, slap, keep sub versus dub out of your freaking mouth. No, I will not. I will not keep sub versus dub out of my mouth. I have very strong opinions about this. I grew up in the 90s. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Nixie-chan, the Oberon team, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.